good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Derrick Jaxn back at it again with another collaboration here on my channel. Make sure you brothers like, comment, and hit the bell. But guys, today, back for a second collaboration.
Number
The
two.
one and the only, the lead attorney. Editors, give him a round of applause sound effect there. The brother, he did an excellent job, guys, talking about child support in the last collaboration we did. A lot of you brothers really appreciate it. It was the longest watch time that we've ever had on the channel for an interview. I'll let him explain what he does and what his channel is all about. Go ahead, family.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is the lead attorney, and I've got a channel here on YouTube, and it's a small channel. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to you, O'Shea, for really putting me on the map a little bit. Got about 5,000 subscribers now, so we're growing. But this channel is basically dedicated to men and to let them know what's going on in these courtrooms in terms of family law, because so many men get crushed up in the divorce system. So many men get crushed up in child support. And the reason that they're crushed is because they didn't understand some fundamental things before they made some decisions that put them in their situation. And so this is giving you a behind the scenes look at how judges work in these trial courts, how attorneys work, and what you can expect if you wind up being here. So I appreciate you having me on your show. I hit you up to talk a little bit about this Derrick Jaxn situation. I saw a video that you made. You put it out yesterday. I mean, you had it going quick, and kind of let us know. You were letting us know about what the deal was.
Right.
And so I hit you up and said, listen, you know, I have been a family law attorney here in Atlanta for 20 years. Derrick Jaxn is here in Atlanta, and he works here. He lives here, and if his wife files for divorce, their divorce case is going to be here. And so it would be interesting to figure out what he would be looking at is if his wife filed for divorce. What would the process be? What would he be looking at in terms of a property division, alimony, child support, things like that? And so I can kind of get into that, let you guys know. And it's instructive to you, not you, O'Shea, but you, the listeners, as to, you know, what happens in a family law courtroom, because you might find yourself up here. If you're married, we all know that 50% of the marriages end in divorce. So you will be sitting in the same seat as Derrick Jaxn. You might have more money, you might have less money, but this is a instructive test case about what's really going to happen. And so if you don't have anything, I can just get right into it, O'Shea.
Well, let me just do before we get right into it. So a lot of guys are probably going to be really wondering about this particular video, but let's just a little bit of introduction to Derrick Jaxn.
Thank you. Yes.
I don't know how much he makes, but I think I've heard him say at least before he's making like 6 figures a year. So let's assume the minimum is $100,000. He has several platforms, several streams of income, and no, we're not pocket watching. We're just using brother Derrick Jaxn as a case study. So if you're in Atlanta, which a lot of y'all are, and this happens to you, you're gonna find out what your ass is gonna be working with. So he's a millionaire, I'm pretty sure. Steady stream of income. I think he has at least one child. Okay, and let's just say, for example, in that he has his own house, a beautiful home. I'm pretty sure he lives in a home at least over $500,000. If someone in this particular situation, earning income-wise, stuff like that, one child at least, I know he has one child, could be 2. What is the process that, let's say for example, the wife finds this out and it's to be true, these rumors are true. What is the process? How does the wife go about it? And then what happens, from there in Atlanta?
Absolutely. And let me tell you, this is kind of what the situation would be. Let's say the wife comes to me, the lead attorney, right? And she says, hey, I want to get a divorce. All right. And so she tells me her name and I don't know who she is. And, a lot of times when you walk into, let's say you yourself are thinking about a divorce or your wife is thinking about a divorce, what you'll need to know is that when you walk into a divorce attorney's office, it's not like Walmart where there are prices on the wall. You're not really going to know how much this attorney is going to charge. One attorney is going to charge one fee, another attorney is going to charge another fee. It's whatever the attorney wants to charge. And a little behind the scenes, a lot of times us attorneys, we don't know exactly what we're going to charge in a given case. We're kind of sizing you up a little bit, right? If Cam Newton comes into my office, he's going to get one price, but a Jane Doe down the street, she's going to get another price, right? And so
Oh,
when
that's
she,
important. That's important to know. I didn't know that. I didn't
oh
know
yeah,
that. Talk about that a little bit,
absolutely.
because a lot, we are thinking that it's like, you go into the store, like, Foot Locker or something, and all the stuff is the same, or grocery. Why does that happen?
Yeah, it's really just capitalism. It's what the market will bear. This country is built on capitalism, and it doesn't stop at an attorney's office. Now, you go into a Walmart, and they don't really have that option because they have to kind of put the pricing on the shelves. But you'll go into a lot of maybe higher end stores, and they'll say, if you have to ask the price, you can't afford it, right? There's room for that. There's room for that negotiation. You can work on a car dealership. You don't really know how much you're going to pay for that Lexus. You don't know how much you're going to pay for that Toyota. You see the price on there, but it's expected that you're going to negotiate for it, right? Now, negotiation really doesn't happen in an attorney's office, but there's that same sense of there's no pricing on the wall. You have no idea what this attorney is going to charge you until you get in there and y'all start talking about how much it's going to cost. And so that's very important. If we in Atlanta, we have a lot of celebrities, a lot of entertainers, a lot of athletes, and they pay a lot of money. And so attorneys, we're used to trying to figure out, who you are, what you have before we quote you a price. And that's just being in America. So if you want to try to get a good price, maybe show up to your attorney's office for that first consultations and some jeans and some sneakers or something. Don't come in that $10,000 Armani suit, because an attorney might get you because they know you've got it. Any type of business person is going to try to charge the most that they can for their services, and there's nothing wrong with that. You do that yourself. If you show up on Monday morning and you say, "Hey, I deserve a promotion," and you go into your supervisor's office, you wanna get the most that you can, and attorneys are the same way. So she's going to come to my office and she's going to tell me who she is. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to know her name. So I'm just going to think she's a normal person. And I'm going to say, okay, well, what do you do? And she says, let's assume she's a housewife. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, well, she's a housewife. That means she doesn't have any money, right? Where's the money for this case going to come from? And I say, well, who are you married to? And she says, well, I'm married to Derrick Jaxn. Now let's assume that I don't know who Derrick Jaxn is, right? But what I'll do, because I work here in Atlanta and we're used to all these celebrities and athletes, you might not know who's number 48 on the roster for the Falcons, but he's got some money, right? So you always want to look up who the husband is to see if he's a somebody, right? And I do a Google search on Derrick Jaxn's name, and I found out, oh man, this dude is he's a YouTuber. He's got 11 books. He's got this and he's got that. Now I feel confident. Okay, I know I can get paid for this case, and maybe the cost of the case, it gets a little bump up. It gets a little increase because I know that it's not going to really prejudice her, at least on the front end, right? Because she's not going to be paying for it. It's going to be Derrick Jaxn that's going to pay for it, right? So I say, okay, well, listen, this is what we're going to do, because now I know he's got some money. Let's assume that he's making $2 million a year, right? Between his YouTube, between his books, between the affiliates. Let's say he's invested. Let's say he's got some real estate. He's got a couple of investment properties. Let's assume that he's doing it, right? And he's making $2 million a year. So I say, well, listen, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to charge, let's say, $400 an hour for my out of court time, $500 an hour for my in court time. And I'm going to bill my associate out. He's going to be working on the case for you. I'm going to bill him out at $300 an hour. And I got my paralegal. I'm going to get one of these paralegals on here, and I'm going to bill her out at $175 an hour. And the wife is going to be like, I don't even work. I can't afford all of this. And I'm going to say, listen, don't worry, right? Because your name is still going to be on this bill. You're still going to have to pay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to petition the court for Derrick Jaxn to pay my fees, right? He not only, if he gets an attorney, will he pay his fees, but he's also going to pay my fees. And guys, you need to know this. Yeah, this is how we do it in Georgia. And you don't have to be a Derrick Jaxn type figure. You could be making $85,000 a year and still be stuck with your wife's attorney's fees, right? If she's making nothing and you're making 85, $90,000 a year, if there's that big discrepancy, you're going to
Mhm.
have to pay for both attorneys. Now, why is that? Well,
Mhm.
one reason is these judges want to make sure that it's a level playing field. It used to be back in the day in the 80s, maybe the husband was making 200,000, the wife wasn't making anything. The husband gets a new girlfriend, divorces the wife, and now the wife she can't afford to live, much less paying an attorney, whereas the husband will go out and get the best attorney in town and absolutely crush her. So the judges say, no, we're not doing this anymore. If the husband makes a good enough amount so that he can afford both attorneys, then we're going to give the wife an attorney too, and the husband's going to pay for it so that it's fair, right? And it makes kind of sense in a legal aspect, in the sense that, guys, if you're making 90,000 a year and you show up on work on Mondays and Tuesdays and you're working hard, you have to remember that $90,000 a year, that's not just your money. A lot of guys like to think that way. A lot of guys like to think, oh, this 400,000 I've got in this 401k, it's my 401k, and it's not true. It's y'all's 401k, right? Because you got to split that with the wife. When you show up, when you get that paycheck at the end of every month or at the end of every 2 weeks, that's y'all's paycheck. That's your paycheck and your wife's paycheck. So what the judge will say, well, listen, you make $90,000 a year, but half of that really is the wife's. So I'm just going to order that you pay her attorney's fees out of her 45,000 of that 90, right? So you take the 90,000, you split it in half,
Whoa.
you got 45,000, and now that 45,000 is going to be used to pay her attorney's fees so that the process is fair. And a lot of guys, they don't know this going in, right? You guys don't know how well you can get screwed over on so many levels in these divorce cases. So now Derrick Jaxn's paying for my fees, okay? And what I do is I say, well, where do you live? And she tells me the address, and I say, well, what time is he usually home? And she'll say, well, he's usually home between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., before he leaves. Why do you need to know? And I said, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draft up this complaint for divorce, and I'm going to send it over there to the sheriff's. I'm going to give it to the sheriff's office, and the sheriff's going to take a copy and knock on his door at 8:15 in the morning, and he's going to answer it in his little bathrobe and his little slippers, and that sheriff's deputy is going to hand him that complaint for divorce. And he's going to be surprised because he's going to open it up, he's going to say, what is this? And he's going to read it, and it's going to be complaint for divorce. Now, what's in a complaint for divorce? What are we going to ask for?
Mm-hmm.
If she hires an attorney, we're definitely asking for alimony, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're definitely asking for the property, how it's going to be divided, and I'm going to get into that a little bit too. We're asking absolutely for custody of these kids. Let's assume they got 2 kids. I don't know how many they have either. Let's just assume they got 2. In Atlanta, she barely needs to even ask for it because the judge is going to give it to her. But also along with that is going to be the child support, right? So he's going to have to pay a lot. He's going to be in trouble. So here's what he's going to do. He's going to read all this, and he's going to get mad. And he's going to call the wife up. He's going to be like, hey, why did you go hire an attorney? This is something we could have worked out. And she's going to say, well, what is there to work out? You brought a side chick into my house, and you had sex with her on my bed on those 800 thread count sheets that I bought from Macy's at the Mall of Georgia, right? What is there to work out? And so he's going to get all mad, and he's going to hang up, and he's going to get dressed, put on his shoes, and he's going to go find an attorney, and he's going to go to his attorney's office. And his attorney, he's going to tell his attorney who he is. His attorney's not going to know, going to Google him and going to be like, oh, I got you because you got money. So the attorney's going to say, listen, you're on the hook for this, you're on the hook for that, you're on the hook for this. And now that you've gotten served, you have only 30 days to respond. You got to file a written legal answer within 30 days. And you're on the hook for all of this. So I don't know what you're going to do. So he's going to say, okay, and he's going to leave. He's going to get in that same car that he makes these videos on, right? He's going to get in that same car and call his wife up. He's going to be like, listen, we need to talk. We need to work this out. There has to be a way. There has to be something, because he's going to know he's in a no-win situation now. He can't escape, and he could lose absolutely everything. He could lose it all. And let's assume the wife says, no, we're going. We're going to divorce, and I'm going to get as much as I can. Fine. He's going to hire that attorney, and that attorney is going to file an answer. Then what's going to happen? Let's say I represent the wife, right? I'm going to file a motion for a temporary hearing, right? Because I want to get him out of the house. He needs to go to a motel. He needs to go to a hotel. He needs to go anywhere, but he cannot come to this house, right? So I'm going to get the house. He's still going to have to pay for the house, right? Even if he goes and gets an apartment, even if he goes to the Motel 6, he's still going to be on the hook for paying the mortgage on the house. He's
Wait,
still
wait,
going to
wait,
have to
wait,
pay
wait, wait,
all.
wait, 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 wait. He has to pay the mortgage still?
Still, absolutely, right? Because I got these kids. You can't throw the
Oh,
kids out on the street, right?
oh my God.
Yeah. So not only wherever he can stay with his brother, he can stay with his mama. It doesn't matter. He's still gonna have to pay the mortgage on this house. He's still gonna have to pay the utilities on this house. He can't cut the lights off, and these kids are in this house. There's no refrigerator. There's no light. He can't cut the water off. Still got to pay the internet, the cell phone bills, right? What about my car? What about that E-Class? It's still got a loan on it. I need to take the kids around. They need to go to Publix to get this food. You still got to pay the payments on the E-Class, right? Everything that he was paying for, he still has to keep paying, but now he can't come home. Now he's somewhere else. And in addition to that, these attorneys, you know me, he's going to have to pay my fees as well. Now, he's paying for the home, the utilities, he's paying for my car, he's paying for the attorney's fees. What else is he paying? He's paying child support too, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about how child support is calculated. But he's going to be, I mean, from the instant that we go to court, he's going to be paying so much money, right? And so now what's going on? We've gone to the temporary hearing, and the judge is just giving us all this money. We get a lump sum, and we get money monthly because he has to pay all of these bills. All of the credit, let's assume they got credit cards. You know, they're Americans. Most Americans got credit cards. They got debts. You still have to keep those debts current. Still has to keep all the credit card debts current. And we're going, right? So I'm sending him discovery. I say, hey, you got this YouTube channel. I need all of your back end analytics for the past 7 years, right? All your books. I need access to the Amazon accounts. I need to know how many books you sold on Amazon. I need to see what the gross revenue is. You got any affiliate links? I want to know all about all the money that you've got in these affiliate links. You got any real estate? I want to know how much you're making on the real estate. How much is the mortgage on that house you got down there in Atlanta that you're doing the Airbnb on? You got that rental property down in Florida. How much you making on that? I want to know all about that. The 401k that you've been depositing money to, or the retirement accounts, I want to know how much is in there. The stock market has been doing good for the last 10 years. I know it took a little dip a month or two ago, but these last 10 years have been crazy. I want to know all about all the money you've got in the investments, the stocks. I want to know everything that you've gotten, because I need to see how much is in the pot, right? I need to see how much money we've got. And there's a process called discovery where I can ask him written questions, and he has to answer these questions under perjury under risk of perjury. And not only that, but then I can send him what's called request for the production of documents. So he has to send me all his tax returns. He has to send me all his credit card statements. The credit card statements are where you guys mess up so much, man. You guys are caught so much with these credit card statements. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, give me the last 7 years of your credit card statements, right? And I'm just going to get stacks and stacks of papers that come to my office. Now, am I going to sit down? Am I going to sit down with all these papers? No. I got better things to do than look through credit card statements. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take all of these stacks and I'm going to put them on the desk of one of my paralegals. And what is she going to do? She is going to go to the kitchen and make herself a big pot of coffee. And she's going to come back and she's going to kick her feet up on that desk. And she's going to go line by line through all of your credit card statements, and she's gonna find some things that you didn't even know about. That she's gonna see that when you went down to Hartsfield Jackson to pick up that lady, right? I don't know her name, and you paid the parking with your credit card. She's gonna see it. She's gonna, hey, why did you pay parking twice and you didn't even go anywhere? Why were you down at the airport, right?
Oh my God.
She's gonna see the Expedia account where you booked the flight for that lady to come to Atlanta.
Oh
right? Where you
my
flew her
God.
out. She's going to see that. And listen, let me tell you guys something else. This man has, I don't know his story, but let's just assume that, he's just a regular black man. He didn't come from anything, right? In a lot of ways, this guy is a genius. I mean, there is no one on YouTube that was given the content the way that he was given it. There's no one who was given the perspective that he was given it. I couldn't even come up with some of the things that he was saying. He's so in tune to how women think, right? And so because of how emotionally intelligent he is, because of his work ethic, his drive, he's built himself up. So let's say he's making $2 million a year, right? But even all of that hard work, guys, you guys really need to know this. You can throw it away over some random IG chick. You would think that a guy so smart wouldn't do it. I see it every day. Guys who have stayed up all night writing books, guys who have sacrificed, guys who have almost gone into bankruptcy 2 or 3 times because they're investing everything they have into their business, and they will throw it all away over some tail, right? And will be sloppy about it. And when you go through these credit card statements, you see the sloppiness of it. You don't hide it. They don't hide it. They think that they're never going to get caught, but it comes back on them, right? So my paralegal is going to find all of this. Now, this isn't a normal case, but here's the thing, and this is what I learned watching your video, O'Shea, about the situation. My paralegal really doesn't even need to do all of that, right? In a normal case where the guy's trying to hide and he's denying this and that, my paralegal would have to go through, because these paralegals, they're detectives. I mean, they will catch it all. But in this case, man, the side chick is talking. Right? Well, I don't even need to do all this investigation because we got the side chick right here. She's like, "Oh, Derrick Jaxn, you blocked me, right?
Oh,
you fly me out, and you promised me this, and you promised me that. You promised me that you're separating from your wife. I saw the subscribers you got. I saw the books that you had. I knew the money you were making. I thought it was going to be me and you, and then you turn around and block me. Like, I realize now that you just used me." Oh no, Derrick Jaxn, you ain't used me. Like, I'm gonna show you who gets used. And this is another thing, guys. This is another thing. It used to be. There was a time, I don't want to call them good girls, man, because that's the wrong characterization, but it used to be. Back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s, guys, you could really get over on a woman and just, it just, you kind of got away. Yeah, she put the Snicker bars in your car, in your gas tank. Yeah, she put a knife through your tires. All right. Yeah, she broke your antenna off. You remember when cars used to have the antennas and she'd go break it off. But that was about it. But guys, you got to realize that those days are in the past, man. With this social media, a woman can destroy your reputation in a way that just was not possible back in the day. It just was not possible. And these celebrities are getting it, but it's not just celebrities, guys. I see it in my office every day. Ex-girlfriends, side chicks, they're posting receipts on Facebook. They're sending all your stuff on Snapchat, and all their friends they're making TikToks about you. Anything, guys, that you send out, any type of text message, any type of little video, these little boomerang things you're sending out, you better believe these women are saving every single one. These pictures of your privates that you're sending out, these women are saving them, right?
Hold on. Say that again, attorney. These niggas need to understand that. Say that again, because they be out there.
That's exactly right. These pictures, these videos that you guys are sending out of your private parts, these women are saving them. And they're not just saving them on their phone. I mean, they're downloading them on their computer. They got the hard drive ready. They got the SD cards on deck. They are saving it. You have an archive in this lady's computer. And you might think that it's, oh, that was 6 months ago. Oh, that was 2 years ago. No, she's got it. And especially if you are anywhere famous, if you are anywhere on YouTube, any type of celebrity, any type of singer, any type of ball player, she's got, and they are waiting, not necessarily thinking about it every single day, but these women get status over this. You take this lady. O'Shea, you don't know her name. I don't know her name. We're at some point, maybe in the next week, we're gonna know her name. We didn't even know she existed 2 days ago. We didn't know she existed. Now she's gonna be in the mouth of everybody. She can be on TV. She can write a book. Derrick Jaxn's got 11 books. She's like, hey, I'm gonna write a book, right? She can get famous, extremely famous over this one man. I saw a report yesterday, the Gorilla Glue lady, right? She's coming out with a book, or she's going to be on a TV show now. I mean, people get famous over stupid things. So you better believe that a woman that you did wrong, it used to be back in the day in the 80s and 90s, you could get over and do a woman wrong, and that was just between you and the Lord. It's not that way anymore. Mm-hmm. Not with social media. A woman will wreck you. So I might call the I don't know her name. Let's call her Jessica. I might call Jessica up, the side chick, right, with the tattoo in between her breasts. I might call Jessica up and say, hey, Jessica, Derrick Jaxn's flying you out all the time. Why can't I fly you out? Why don't you come to my office? Why don't we have a talk? Right? And she comes to the office. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She comes to the office, and I take my little phone, I'll take my little recorder, and I say, listen, let's relax. You want something to drink? You want a Diet Coke or something like that? Let me talk to you. And I'll have her in there for hours. And man, she's gonna tell me everything, Derrick. She's gonna tell me everything. She's gonna tell me things that you forgot. But it's not like she's just gonna tell them to me. She's gonna email all the receipts. She's gonna email me all the text messages that you sent, all the videos that you sent. You have no idea how many dick pics a divorce attorney has seen over his or her career. Guys, we've seen them all. Oh yeah. Because again, these women are saving them. And you better believe we are using them. You better believe we are using them in court. You can't go to court. Listen, let me tell you something about Georgia. Georgia is one of only 2 states in the nation, it's us in Texas, that have jury trials for divorce, right? And it's not common, right? But if you want a jury trial in Georgia, all you got to do is ask for it. You say, hey, I want a jury trial. Usually in a trial, it's just the parties and the witnesses and the judge is going to make a decision, right? And that can be extremely unfair because you have one man deciding your whole case, right? So in fairness, Georgia feels like, well, 12 people are going to be more fair than one person. One person might just have a bad day. But if we get 12 people, that should even things out. It should be more fair. Well, in this case, in a normal case, and let me tell you, all right, so think about that for a second. Let's say I already know that I'm asking for a jury trial. This is definitely a jury trial. Now, let me tell you something about Atlanta that you guys might not know if you're not from here. There are really 2 Georgias, right? There are really 2 Georgias. There's Georgia, the state, and then there's Atlanta. And it's almost like oil and water. They're 2 separate entities. Georgia forever has been a red state, right? But Atlanta has always been blue. Right, it's just 2 different demographics, and all of outside of Georgia, we got all these plantations, basically these pecan fields, these peaches down there in South Georgia. It's so rural, but you go to Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, and it's an international city. We got the busiest airport in the world, right? And so if I know that if I'm going to trial in Atlanta, and let me say something else about Atlanta. It's full of black people. It's full of black people. Now, let's say Jessica, the wife, hires me a year ago, before all of this infidelity came out. And she says, well, I want a jury trial. I'm going to say, no. I don't know about a jury trial, Jessica, because he hasn't done anything wrong. You just want to move on with your life. And who's going to be on the jury? A ton of black people. Especially black women, are going to be on that jury. Uh-oh. Atlanta is run by black people, not Georgia. Don't get it twisted. Go down there to South Georgia. Black people aren't running anything. Black people stay quiet in South Georgia. But in Atlanta, it's a totally different demographic. I can't remember the last time Atlanta had a white mayor. I can't remember it. Our mayors have been black forever. Our city councilmen, city council women, they're almost all black. Atlanta is run by black people. And so when you go down to Fulton County, which is the county in which Atlanta sits, you're going to have a ton of black people. Now, when you have a ton of black people, you're definitely going to get a ton of black women. I don't really want black women on my jury deciding this case for Derrick Jaxn a year ago, because he was kind of their king, man. There was no one riding for black women like Derrick Jaxn. Not one black man on YouTube was riding as hard for them as Derrick Jaxn. So what am I going to do? Have a jury full of black women deciding his case when he didn't do anything wrong? I'm going to get crushed. The jury's going to say, wife, Jessica, what are you doing? Not Jessica's, the wife. Well, Jessica's the wife. Jessica's the side chick. Let's say the wife. What are you doing, wife? You are married to the number one black man. He started from nothing, from hard work and emotional intelligence. He's built himself up to make $2 million a year, and now he's not good enough for you. Look at him. He's 6'5". I saw on your video, I just looked at his forearm. This dude is a gorilla. What does he weigh? Like 265? He's like an Adonis.
Yeah.
Like, if you are going to divorce him, there's no one else you can go to. There's no black man that's going to be better than him, right? And that jury could give us nothing. Like, that jury could punish that wife. But now that the infidelities come out, it's totally reversed. Now I want a jury full of black women. I want a jury full of black women. And I'm going to put up in trial, I'm going to put up all of his YouTube videos. Oh man, we're gonna sit there for hours. I'm gonna put up all his YouTube videos where he's talking about black men don't cheat, and black women are queens, and how you should never do anything wrong to a black woman. And then I'm gonna juxtapose it by that video that the lady that made the original video referenced about. He's sitting there saying, "Hey, what color panties are you wearing?" No, I'm just kidding. But for real, what color are they? And are they thongs? Are they see-through? What do they really look like? I mean, just cringy. Just cringe. Right. Driving down 285, driving down 75, 85, the same streets that the jury members drove to get to court. This man is driving on, asking some other woman what kind of panties she's wearing, what color panties she's wearing. Oh, that jury's going to kill him. The jury's going to kill him. How's the jury going to kill him? Let's talk about property division. I know you gotta go, O'Shea. So I'm watching the clock. Let's talk about property division right quick. Okay. How does that work? Well, in California, let's say you over in Cali. California it's what's called a community property state, right? Community property. What's that mean? It means that the judge is going to split everything down the line, 50-50, right? You get 50%, you get 50%, and that's it. Georgia is not a community property state. Georgia is what's called an equitable distribution state. Equitable or equity, it just means what's fair. So the jury is going to decide what is fair in Derrick Jaxn's case. Now, what are they going to use to decide what's fair? Oh, they're going to use, why did you guys break up, right? Who makes the most money? Who cared for the children? Who made sure that there was a happy home? Who stayed home and cooked? They're going to consider all of this evidence, and they're going to consider all of his YouTube videos about how he held himself out to be, really just the top man, telling all men how they should do things, telling all men how they should interact with women. And they're going to use that hypocrisy, and they're going to bury him, And the jury could give this woman 50%, but I don't think they'll do it. The jury could give this woman 75% of all of their assets. They might not do that. The jury could give this woman 100%. 100% of everything that this man has built.
Even his businesses.
All of these years, especially the businesses. That's where the money is. That's where the money is.
Even though she doesn't know how to run those businesses.
She doesn't know anything. But here's the thing. She wasn't the person that cheated. She wasn't the person that broke the bond, right? She wasn't the person that stepped out and had another woman, let's be honest, some hotter woman, some cuter woman on the marital bed. She didn't do all that. Yeah. He did that, right? And so, yeah, you worked hard for us. Yeah, you wrote those books for us. Yeah, you started those businesses, that LLC. You started all for us. But look what you did now to us. Look what you did.
Hmm.
Over what? Some 28-year-old with a tattoo in between her teeth? Like that's what you thought of? Well, you apparently didn't think much about your businesses. You apparently didn't think much about your books. You apparently didn't think much about your investments. So guess what? You don't need them. You don't need them, right? You
Mm.
want to trade this 28-year-old, 26-year-old. Let's call her 26. She's hot. I saw the picture. She's cute. You want to trade this 26-year-old for everything that you built? Fine. There's the trade. The wife gets 100% of everything. You get the 28-year-old, the 26-year-old that you blocked. That is now in my attorney's office giving me all the goods. You got nothing.
Oh my
You got
God.
nothing. So not only can she get 100% of all of the books, 100% of all the equity in the house, 100% of the investments. There's also debts, right? Because let's say there's a rental property down here that he's Airbnb in, a rental property down in Orlando. They've got mortgages on them. The judge can say, no, no, no. She's going to get the equity, but you get 100% of the debts because the debts are real too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the credit cards, the second mortgages. You not only does she get 100% of the assets, but now you get stuck with 100% of the debts. So this man can literally kind of be on the street, right? And that's just from property division alone. We haven't even talked about alimony because alimony is separate and apart from property division. Alimony is just something else that the wife will need to kind of sustain herself. And in a case like this, I don't know how old the wife is. Let's say she's 40. Let's say she hasn't worked in 15 years. She doesn't know how things go. She's been out of the workplace for so long. Her value as an employee has dropped tremendously. She might not be able to get a job that can sustain her and these kids. It could be that apart from losing everything, all of his books, all of his investments, losing his house, the rental properties, it could be that now he has to pay her alimony for life. For life. You say, well,
For
how much
life.
is for life? And here's another thing. Here's another thing. You ask, how much is alimony going to be? The black women on the jury are going to decide. The black
Oh
women
my
on the
God.
jury are going to decide how much this man needs to pay every month. Every month.
Oh
There
my
are some
God.
guys that are going to be on that jury, right? Because it's illegal for you to say, okay, I only want a jury of in Atlanta, in Georgia, our juries are 12 members. I only want 12 black women. Now, in my head, that's what I want, right? But I'm not going to be able to get it because it's unconstitutional for you to select jury members based on their age and based on their genders. But we all do it. We all try to do it. And in this case, I'm going to try to stack the jury with black women. And but some guys are going to get on the jury too, and they're going to be like, man, they're not going to say anything because you can't stand up for him. After you see all the videos, after you see all the text, and let's be honest, O'Shea, every single guy on YouTube that has seen, every single guy in the world really that's seen Derrick Jaxn, we're all like this. We're all like we see what you're doing. I
Right,
might not
right, right.
necessarily, I might not necessarily knock your hustle, but I know it's a hustle, right?
Yes.
So that the men aren't going to stand up for him on the jury, and the black women are going to want to crucify him. So the black women are going to decide. The jury is going to decide how much he's going to get, how much he's going to have to pay out for the property division. It could be everything. How much he's going to have to keep in terms of the debts. He might lose 100% of the assets and keep 100% of the debts. In terms of alimony, I don't want to say the sky's the limit, but man, they're going to leave. This jury can leave this man with nothing. And apart from losing everything and having to pay all the debts, and having to pay alimony, he still got the child support. He still got to pay the child support. And the jury can kind of decide that too. Now, that's not necessarily how much he's going to pay, because in Georgia, we operate, there's a child support guideline system that we use. But they can kind of determine, what are his incomes, right? Because guys, they always want to lower their incomes so that they pay less child support. In Georgia, the less a man makes, the less he pays in general. The more he makes, the more he pays. He might make $2 million a year. The jury might be like, no, I think he makes $3 million, right? He's going to pay more. So it's like, this man is over. Guys, please just understand how much sex can cost you, right? Sex can cost you everything. With some 26, and it's not like, I mean, how old is Derrick Jaxn? 30, 35? It's not like this was the best sex that he ever had in his life. But even if it was, it ain't worth it. It can't be worth it at all. I mean, it's not possible. It's not possible to lose millions and millions of dollars over a woman who's not, I mean, it would be one thing if you'd be like, okay, I'm going to lose $20 million over my lifetime, but at least I get the woman. No. You blocked the woman, remember?
Mm-hmm.
The woman is at your wife's attorney's office telling on you. You spent the $20 million and you don't even get to hit it anymore. It's gone.
All bad.
You wasted. It's all bad. It's all bad, right? And so there's just no saving this man. And I know you gotta go, Shay. So we can wrap it up. But I just wanted to come on here and thank you again for giving me the opportunity to let you guys really see what is going on in these courtrooms. I see it every day. I'm here in Atlanta. His case is going to get assigned to a judge in Atlanta, right? I'm going to file the divorce case and it's going to get assigned to a judge. I've practiced before those same judges for the past 20 years. I know what's going to happen. I know what's going on. And it's so, but you guys don't know, right? And you guys are making decisions. Right. And listen, there's no way that you can convince me that Derrick Jaxn cheating with this Jessica chick was the first time. And it was only her. It's never only, if a man is going to risk $20 million, it's not going to be on one woman. It's going to be over women. He just hasn't gotten caught.
She even said that he did it before.
Did he really?
She said that he admitted that he'd been doing
it. Guys. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Can you get married, and can this marriage that you entered into be the most beautiful thing in the world? Absolutely. I'll never tell a man not to get married. Is it risky? Yes. But listen, men do risky things every day. 18-year-olds join the military every day and go into Afghanistan and Iraq. It's risky. You know, a man shouldn't say don't get married. I mean, that's like saying don't join the military because it's risky. Right? There are benefits to join the military. Maybe there's some benefits depending on the person for the marriage, but you got to know yourself. If you are a 6'5", 265-pound Cam Newton looking dude, I mean, your market value is so high. Right. And there's going to be, even if you love this woman and she's the mother of your kids, there's going to be something in you that's like, man, all this market value I got. I mean, he doesn't look like Cam Newton, but God damn, I mean, he's an Adonis, right? Let's be honest. It's like, come on, man. You can get all of these black women will do anything for you. Should you be married? Right? Now, maybe you should have been married 10 years ago when you didn't have anything and you were just a 6'5", 265 Tyrone, right? But now you're not a Tyrone anymore.
You got money now.
So that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So maybe you want to get out of that marriage. If you would have got it out of that marriage 5 years ago, yeah, you would have paid a little bit. Right? But you would have paid a little bit, but you would have kept a lot. Now you're going to lose everything. You're going to lose it all. So listen, you guys need to wise up, you know, and that's what my channel is for. I appreciate you again, O'Shea, having me on here. I know you got to go, but you guys need to know what's going on in these trenches, in these divorce, these divorce trials. You don't know how it works. And the only way you find out how it works, the only way you've been able to find out how it works is to be sitting in that chair on the witness stand, getting everything taken away from you. Everything that you've worked hard for, everything that you've cried over, all the nights that you spent pushing things out, getting deadlines done, you can lose it all. And I promise you this, in Derrick Jaxn's case, in your case, I promise you this, it will not be worth it. It will not absolutely 100% not be worth it at all. He can lose it all. He can't go to trial. There are certain people you can't go to trial. You might as well give them everything and just avoid the trial.
Right.
Just give them everything. They're going to get you anyway, but they're going to have you on the stand and they're going to be asking you questions that you do not want to answer, man. It's going to, and it's all public record, right? Anybody, you can, O'Shea, if you want to come down to Atlanta, you can sit in on his trial. It's all open. You can
Wow.
bring popcorn and go into his trial and sit there and watch as he testifies about all the women that he slept with, what positions that he did, what they did to him, where they were at. I mean, just gory sexual details. He has to answer all of it in court on the witness stand under oath. Just take it. Like don't make a fool of me, dude. Just take my money. And was it worth it? No. That's why that what it, was he and he's smart, right? No one gets to this man's situation is not smart. So now he's smartened up. Now what did he do? He tried to block her. What did he do? He put for the first time ever. He posted a picture of his wife on the Instagram. Right? He's trying to get back in. He's trying to consolidate it. He's trying to say,
Yeah.
"Listen, baby, you remember the good times. Like, don't do me like this, baby. Don't do me like this."
Oh, right. But
So,
you might be a day late and $1 short.
that's exactly right. But having said that, the wife hasn't filed yet, so who knows? He might be able to save it. He
Right.
might be
And
able to save it.
let me tell everybody real quick, man. Now, I know it's gonna be another hit. You're such a smart man. It seemed like you was getting real when you was laughing. You didn't broke a lot of niggas. He was like, "Oh, guess what? Oh," I'm like, man. So, but tell everybody about your channel, because your channel has been growing exponentially. Man, you make a lot of good content. Tell people if they subscribe to your channel what they should expect on the Lead Attorney's YouTube channel.
Yeah, for my channel, again, and it's the Lead Attorney, you can just put it in YouTube. You're going to get information that's geared to you, information that you need, information that you would have been better off if your father had told you, if your uncle had told you, but it's information that no one told you. And for some of you guys, it's going to be a day late and $1 short because you've already would have sat in that chair and you already would have been matched up. But there are so many millions of men who can avoid mistakes. And you're not going to get it anywhere else on YouTube. No one is giving you this information. There's no divorce attorney sticking their neck out and making these videos like I'm making them without any type of political correctness. And I'm not doing it, Derrick Jaxn, because I'm going to point out to you as men where you need to step up. Every video that I've made shows that men have responsibility into this too, right? It's not like Derrick Jaxn's getting screwed over for no reason. No, he made some decisions, right? And
Right.
so what I'm trying to do is give my whole channel, guys, is to give you information. It's not to tell you what to do. I'll never tell you don't get married. I never tell you to get married. I never tell you don't have kids. Never tell you to get kids. All I'm doing is all I want to do is give you information that you're not going to get anywhere else. And with that information, you can use it to make informed decisions. That's what my whole channel is about.
All right, guys. And you heard exactly from the Lead Attorney. Like I said, awesome YouTube channel, very entertaining, very intelligent. Obviously, he's a lawyer, so he got to be smart to be a lawyer. And I'm glad. Hopefully, it's not the last of our collabs. We'll try to keep going. He emailed me, he got me real early today, so we knocked it out, and I'm really thankful. I want all the black men to go and support him because we want to bring our talented brothers like this into the community, guys who have really good skill set and have something to contribute. I appreciate most of you guys going over there and subscribing, but I want more, right? Because we want more. A lot of you brothers can use his help. So shout out to him. Go to the first comment pinned to the top. Check him out. Let him know your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson sent you. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.